Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about 3 low value things smart men do that turn women off. So let's get straight into the first point that I want to make today. Okay, the first low value thing that smart men do that turn women off, which is they let themselves be messed about by women. Okay, so let's take an example, okay, so you can sort of see how this plays out. So let's say you're a smart man. Let's say that's happening, right? Which I'm sure, of course, all of my viewers are smart men, okay, and smart women. So let's say that you're dating a woman and suddenly she starts to tell you things like, oh, I'm really busy with work right now, I can't see you, or oh, I've really got to focus on my studies, or I'm not really looking forward for a relationship right now. What sometimes a smart man may do that may then make him appear more low value is he may just think, oh, okay, well, I'll just wait until you've, got less busy with work, because he's taking it literally, okay? Because that's what usually smart people do. That they take things quite literally. Like, okay, if a woman says, oh, I'm just really busy with work right now, he believes her, okay, right? But what's actually happening is that she's just, because a lot of smart people think very, very logically, okay? So, and they tend to not really look at the emotional side of the equation. So he's logically thinking, oh, she's saying that because she's busy with work. Okay, I'll just wait a few weeks and then I'll ask her out again, or I'll just say to her, okay, well, let me know when things have calmed down and we can get together. And then he waits, right? He waits for her to get less busy. But the real reason why she said that is because for whatever reason, she's losing interest. Okay? And she's just using that as an excuse, even if she is busy with work, right? If she's just using that as an excuse to not see you because for whatever reason, perhaps she prefers another guy now, or perhaps you've done something to put her off. Something's happened. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter what has happened. All that matters is that she's losing interest or she's lost interest. And what you've got to do in these circumstances, you have to put yourself in her shoes. And what I mean by that is, if this was reversed, and let's say you were busy at work, like what she is, but you really like her, okay? Yes, you may be really busy, but I'm sure if you really like her, you will still find time to either talk to her or meet up with her. You'll try to squeeze her in somewhere. But the fact that she isn't trying to squeeze you in, even though she's now got a busy schedule, whether that is the truth or she's fabricated it, if she likes you, she would be with you. That's the point, right? If she likes you, if she was really attracted to you, she may tell you, oh yeah, I'm really busy, but I can't wait to see you. Maybe we can meet each other one evening. Maybe I can come and see you in my lunch hour. She will bend reality somehow to try and fit you in, okay? And you know that because if you put yourself in your shoes, you would do that for her. You would do that. You would, even if you were really busy, you would still find a way to try and slot her in if you really, really liked her. So she's lost enthusiasm. So that's how you can see, like, some smart guys might get a bit stuck in that situation, because instead of like thinking about it logically, instead of thinking about it the emotionally and thinking of how they would react if someone really how they would react if they really like someone, they just take it with face value and think, okay, well, I'll just wait until she stopped being busy. Okay, because he's taking it very, very logically, and he's not taking the time to think, would I react this way? And what I want you to tell you is that women, when it comes to who they're attracted to and in the intensity and stuff like that, is no different than how you feel, okay? Men and women aren't that too dissimilar when it comes to how their behavior is when they're enthusiastic about someone and they really, really like someone. If they really, really like someone, if they really, really like a guy, then they're going to act like a man in terms of they're going to find a way to be with that person. They're going to find a way to be with that guy because they really, really like it. So often men who are smart do the low value thing of waiting around. And this makes a woman even more like, oh, because he may say to her, okay, well, wait, I'll just wait for you, basically. That's essentially what he's saying. And this kind of turns a woman's stomach, because she's like, oh, can't you just get the picture? Can't you just, do I have to spell it out for you and just say that I don't like you? Can you just like read between the lines and just realize that the reason I'm saying this is because I don't want to be confrontational. And I just want you to just realize and to dawn on you that I'm just not that interested. Because they sort of expect you to know, which I guess women can do a better job of actually explaining this properly to men, but they would like you, women would love you to know that and to understand that if a woman really likes you, she will put in the effort. She would put in the effort. So she's saying, oh, I'm kind of busy, I've got a lot of work going on, I've got to study, I've got all these things, I'm trying to find myself. She's saying these things, but what she's really saying, what she's really hoping that you'll see is, look, I'm not enthusiastic. I'm not interested as much as I once was, or I'm not interested if this is the first time you've asked her out and she said something like this. Okay? She said, like, you know how you feel about me. You know that you would, bend the earth to try and, hang out with me and talk to me and stuff and hang out. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you the same level of energy. Please figure out that I'm just not as interested. And again, it's one of those things that women get turned off even more by those guys who do that, who allow themselves to get messed about in that way. So that's one of the first things. Okay, so that's an example of that. Other things as well, like other quick examples of how you may get messed about and you just sort of accept it, is if a woman just keeps on flaking on you without giving you an alternative. Like, so for example, let's say you've arranged to meet out on a Saturday and she says to you, oh, sorry, I can't make it now. And she doesn't give you an alternative. And then you're like, oh, okay, no worries. Well, maybe another time. And then a few days later, you're like, hey, so when are you free to hang out? And then she does it again. She maybe says, oh, yeah, okay, I'm free Wednesday. And you're like, great, let's meet Wednesday. And then, again, like Wednesday morning appears and she's like, oh, sorry, can't see you. And it just keeps on happening. You're allowing yourself to get messed about and you're thinking like, well, she's just not busy. But the thing is that if a woman likes you, if she has to cancel, because sometimes women do cancel with guys that they do like as well, she'll offer an alternative time. She'll say, I'm sorry, I can't see you Saturday, but I can see you tomorrow. I can see you Tuesday evening. I can see you Wednesday morning quickly, because I really love to see you. Like I said, in the first point, if a woman really likes you and really has feelings for you and is really into you, she will find a way, even if it's just like she sees you in her lunch hour, or she sees you before work, or she sees you for half an hour after work, or really late one evening. She'll find a way to hang out with you. So if she's not doing that, then you got to let her go. And you can't allow yourself to be messed about like that, because it's just one of those things. It's just a waste. It's just a huge waste of time, basically, to allow yourself to be messed about by women. It's a very low value thing. Like if you respected yourself and you were more high value, then basically what you would do is you'd just be able to automatically be able to read between the lines and be like, yeah, she's not really showing that much enthusiasm. I'm just going to move on. And it would, turn your stomach in a way like, ugh, yeah, she's not really showing me that much affection. She's not really showing me that attention. She doesn't really want to hang out. She keeps on messing me about. She keeps on flaking on me. Yeah, I'm just going to move on. That's the kind of attitude a person with high value, a guy with high value would think and feel. So another low value thing that smart men do that turn women off is they do things and they say things to women that looks good on paper, but it's not necessarily what women are attracted to. So, for example, they may think, well, they may have seen a lot of movies and TV shows and thought, well, it seems like, guys really tend to get women when they like write a love letter and those kinds of things. So yeah, I'm going to write a love letter to the girl that I like and maybe she'll like me because it looks good on paper. It looks romantic. It's romantic in a novel, but unfortunately, this kind of stuff in reality is kind of creepy, right? The things that look good in movies and in romance novels are actually not romantic at all. And, in reality, they're very creepy, especially to a woman that's not that interested. If a woman's super, super interested in you, she might actually find that quite cute and endearing. It may not raise her attraction because distance usually makes a woman's heart more fonder when she's attracted to you. So it's not going to make even a woman that's really super into you, it's not going to make her more attracted to you. she's going to think it's sweet and endearing, but it's not necessarily going to be like, oh, I really want to jump his bones right now. You know, she just thinks it's sweet. She just thinks it's kind of cute, right? But a woman that's not that interested in you, or perhaps she's on the fence, or perhaps she's not that interested at all, if she gets a love letter from you, she doesn't like you and you turn her stomach, then she's going to be freaked out by that, okay? So you have to be careful with these things that you read about in books and TV shows and you see in movies as well, because most of it is just, you know, restraining order stuff, right? So it's best to just leave that kind of stuff, you know, don't be too overly romantic. But again, as you can see, it looks good on paper, you know, women fawn over it in the movies, but it's not necessarily what they respond to in the real world, okay? So smart men tend to do those low value things because they think that, oh, well, you know, that's what women want. They like, you know, these romantic movies, so I'm going to act more like a guy in a romantic movie. And then, it, you know, he's got a restraining order that, you know, in the next 10 minutes. So that's another low value thing that smart men tend to do, because, you know, they think that this is good. They think that this is the right thing to do, and it looks nice, it sounds sweet, it sounds good, and then it just doesn't work, right? And, you know, they say, like, there's a quote, I don't know if it's by Aristotle or something, some philosopher anyway, and he said something like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? So if you keep on sending love letters to women, or you keep on, you know, being like really, really overly romantic, like you're in a movie with them, and it's never worked in the past, then maybe you should try and just not do that anymore, right? Do something else, right? You know, because what I always say in terms of dating is, like, when you go on a date with a woman, don't talk about too many romantic things unless she brings them up, unless she starts the ball rolling with that. Your main focus is just to have a laugh and to have fun and to get her to laugh and giggle and just be silly and goofy together and get to know her. That's the only thing you need to be focusing on. Let her be the one to bring up love and romantic things, and then you can just reciprocate. Okay, and then you can do those things too, and you'll know that she's ready for them because she's already done them for you. So just let her, you know, let the women focus on the romance. You focus on, you know, getting her to laugh and giggle and open up and relax and just enjoy herself. You know, just focus on the enjoyment aspect of a date rather than the romantic aspect of the date. Okay, because she knows that you like her, otherwise you wouldn't be out on the date with her. You don't have to elaborate on how much you like a woman, because you're seeing her, you're hanging out, you're making the effort to meet up with her. She knows you like her. You don't have to say anything else, okay? She knows. Okay, you don't have to write a long-ass love letter or anything like that, or, you know, even just say to her, oh, I really, really like you. You don't need to say that. Wait for her to do it and then reciprocate, okay? May look good on paper, but it's not in reality what women really want. Okay, so the third low value thing that smart men do that turn women off, and we've really sort of touched on this a little bit, and that is they think logically without taking into account the emotional side of things. Okay, so this is why a lot of the smart guys get confused about what a woman says, and then her behavior is completely different. Because a woman may say, oh, I really, really like you, but then she never wants to hang out. And that kind of thing can leave a guy really confused, and it can lead him to actually being, you know, in love with a woman for a very, very long time, because he's like, well, she keeps on saying that she likes me. She doesn't want to hang out with me. When I do see her, she doesn't let me kiss her. She doesn't let me, you know, take her out on a date. She doesn't let me do anything romantic for her. We've never slept together, but she keeps on telling me that she likes me, so I'm really confused, you know. And again, he's taking the logical thing, like, but she says she likes me. She says she likes me, and that's what he clings on to. Okay, and he's thinking very logically about that. But if you look at the emotional side of the equation, obviously she's not that into you because she's not hanging out with you. And if she does hang out with you, she doesn't want anything romantic to happen. And she's basically just stringing your heart along the coals, right? And that's another thing that can happen, right? And again, because he's allowing this to happen, it's making that woman not really like him that much, even more, because he's not, you know, he doesn't have a backbone, essentially. And he's not saying, you know what, no, I just, you know, I don't want to hang out with you unless it's going to be a proper date, okay? Because that's what a guy with more high value would say if he feels like he's being messed about and he wants to give that woman an ultimatum, like, okay, look, you say that you like me, so let's go out on a date, a proper date, okay? And he does, and if she says no to that, or if she yields, then, you know, it's whatever happens. But, you know, if she doesn't, and he doesn't hang out with her, and it's not a proper date, then he's like, you know, I'm done, okay? And that may turn that woman back onto him, and maybe she would show more interest now that he's displayed that he's got a backbone. But more likely than not, then nothing really much is going to happen, because if nothing has happened by now, then it's probably that she's just keeping you as an orbiter, and she's not really taking you that seriously. But as you can see, you can't, if a woman says that she likes you, but the other things she's doing, her behaviors are not matching her words, then you got to look and pay more attention to what she does rather than what she says to you. Okay, is she hanging out with you? Is she making out with you when you go out on dates? Is she touching you? Is she affectionate? Is she very giving? Is she loving? Have you had sex yet? You know, is things leading to the relationship? And if they're not leading to a relationship, and she's making it very difficult for you, and it's really difficult to hang out with her, it's really difficult to, you know, even get her to kiss you or anything like that, then it's more, she's putting all these roadblocks in the way, basically, and she's, you know, preventing you from getting closer and closer to her. It's because she doesn't want you. She doesn't want you close to her, but for some reason she's just keeping you around, because either it gives her an ego boost because you're attracted to her, or she's just keeping you as backup because in case it doesn't work out with the guy that she really does like. So those are the 3 low value things that smart men do that turn women off. If you'd like to have more coaching with me and you'd like help with a specific situation, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com and purchase whichever coaching option works best for you. But if you feel like coaching is too expensive, which is fair enough, then you can easily coach yourself on the website by reading my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. It's just there for you to read for free on the website. Just go to www.christineloveridge.com. Link is in the description, and just click on the menu on the website and then go to the book, and it'll take you straight there. No sign up, no login required. It's just there to read. Okay, so you can coach yourself 100%. You just may need to read it a few times, and maybe sometimes when you feel unconfident, and also perhaps before a date, because you know you could easily breeze. It's a very short book. You could easily breeze through it within a couple of hours. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.